Hello everybody. So, this is a what if that I kind of want to go into because this what if I hope it gets big because it's fun. And if you don't know who this character is, it's Wildcat from DC Comics. I suggest looking into him. He was a boxer and he could go toe to toe with Batman and was pretty good, if you ask me. Um, Now here's the thing. Wildcat to me, I remember him so well, and he was one of my favorite comic book characters when I was growing up. I watched like Batman the Brave and the Bold. He was like the oh my god, it was so funny. Yeah, he was my favorite character in that. Anywho, so Wildcat. Now he's also been my favorite character in like a lot of other stuff besides Batman Brave and the Bold, like Justice League stuff like that. I He's a good character in DC, and basically how we're going to do this is we're going to make it that Deku has a type of well, he's going to have an interesting kind of quirk. He's going to have no quirk. Yeah, I was pulling your leg about that. Yeah, he has no quirk. He's quirkless, and he is a boxer. And what type of boxer is he? Well, how this whole started was Deku. He didn't really give up when it came down to you know, being strong. So I would say that when he was 5 years old, he punched Bakugo like really hard, beating down on him. And I would say that when Inka was like, you know what, all right, yeah, he was bullying you. Let's go teach you some fighting lessons. He learns boxing, and he's really good at it. Like he is championship level, and I'm gonna say that I would say for the next year, like most years of his life, I would say he's like, until he's like 10, 11, or 13, he's been traveling around the world doing boxing and stuff like that and wrestling. And he has been known as Wildcat, as the wild card, the man who cannot be defeated. Well, the kid that can't be defeated. And he is known as the most best martial arts fighter on the planet right now because he's fought people with quirks. He's still held against them. I would say that Deku's fought against people with all kinds of quirks, hardening, all kinds. And I think the fist right here is perfect demonstration of how his hands would be after fighting someone with a hardening quirk. But Deku, he is about this jacked. He's basically this jacked. And you ask me, that's pretty good. Now, as for like what Wildcat had as powers, it was just normal human stuff. He was just a boxer. Now, here's the fun part. So, for what's going to happen with Deku coming back, I would say that he comes back right when it's like when he's 14. And the reason why he comes back is because he is giving up boxing and wrestling to become a hero. And he needs time to prepare for that and all that. And I would say that when he gets back, no one really recognizes him because he always wore a mask. And Deku, when he pretty much like walks up to Bakugo, he's taller. He's like kind of towering over him, and because he's been like really healthy and he's kept up like a really intense like training whole thing. Now, as for like how Bakugo reacts, it's like Jesus. But he does bully him for being quirkless, but quickly gets beaten down. I would say it's like one punch, like he dodges and punches him right in the side of the face, knocking him out. And Deku, he looks like he's 2 grades above what he actually is. And a lot of girls like him. They're all like hot, having the hots for him. And I'd say that right around the sludge bone attack, Deku, when it's like the sludge bone attack, he doesn't back down. He is like, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out fighting. And so he picks up something like whatever he can find, and he starts swinging, bashing at it, punching it, and he starts getting like grabbed by the sludge bone. Am I gonna? By the way, if I'm gonna give him one for all, there's only one condition. He's gonna need to be able to, still be able to do all this stuff. And am I gonna give him one for all? Hell nah. I'm not gonna give him one for all because a boxer can do it on his own. A boxer's spirit is all you need. Now, this is what's going to happen. So, same thing happens in the anime, just Deku doesn't hook onto All Might's leg, and therefore the Sludge Bone doesn't get out. So, yeah, that's the end of that. And, yeah, Deku, he got his autograph before he left and all that. And I'd say that Deku, when he's going home, he comes up with ideas on how he can upgrade his suit. Because his suit's just a skin-tight suit that is like leather, and that's about it. And he's thinking of ways how he can do that. So he adds a type of claws, basically on the knuckles, really. They're kind of for like climbing and stuff like that. That's basically the design he's got. And for the 10 months of training, it's just his boxing routine. And how fierce is Deku when he's boxing? Let's put it this way. Some people think that he's got a quirk because of how insanely strong he is. You're probably wondering, what do I mean by that? Well, it's kind of obvious. Deku goes through 5 punching bags a day. Yeah, he is really decked. And what happens when he goes to UA's entrance exam? Now, for the written exam, I would say Deku does alright. He doesn't do good, just does alright. He gets a passing grade. Now, for the physical exam, because a lot of people forget about this, Deku does better than most. Like, he's doing good because he's, like, an athlete, and that's, like, about it. He's coming in, like, second and third a lot of the time, and that's about it. And punching-wise, he comes first, because he's better at the punching machine than anyone else, and strength test, he's coming first. The reason why... Well, I'm not going to give one for all to Mirio. I'm going to give it to someone else later on. Wink, wink, you'll see who. Da, da, da. You're going to like it. So what ends up happening is this. Deku, when it's the practical exam for the robots, oh boy, it's going to be fun here. So Deku, he is ready. He is jacked. And I'd say that, when Deku, what was that? Deku, when he puts on some wraps for his hands to protect them, he goes over to the front where he's gonna basically be running, and I'd say that Deku never tripped, and everybody's just feeling this like insane amount of bloodlust from him, but it's like aimed towards the robots, and when President Mike says go. Deku just unleashes like full speed, using people to like pull himself forward, and what he does is when he gets to a robot, he punches it straight in the chassis, breaking through it. And what happens next? Oh boy, he starts wailing down on other robots, breaking them, ripping their arms off, smashing them with their arm. Goddamn, going in a full-on berserker mode here. And he is just full-on beaten down on it. Does he take a few hits? Oh, hell, he does. He takes a bunch, and he's coughing up blood. He takes down some more robots. He's dropping them down. He's doing some wrestling moves on them, dropping them, banging them, smashing them. And I would say that this is right around the 0-pointer. Deku sees Araka, and he sees that she's going to get crushed. And he's he's not as far away as he was before. He's, a lot closer. And he gets her out of there, and by just an inch, saves her. And then, I would say around then, that's when it ends. And Deku, he is healed by Recovery Girl. But not because he was coughing up blood, mainly because his fists were so messed up. Because his fists are you see how bloody they are now? Imagine that just worse. The flesh is showing a little bit. And yes, the flesh skin would be tougher. It's just he was overdoing it. Now, for when Deku comes back because he gets accepted, obviously. Deku, he comes back with something awesome. He comes back bringing his fighting spirit, his all. He's bringing his all. And when he walks in, he actually was the kid with second most amount of points. Bakugo came up on first. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. Deku gets first by a few points. And this is kind of like a first for UA because there's never been a quirkless hero. So this is like something else for everybody. And I would say that when, like, even the teachers were surprised that he was quirkless because he was showing such immense strength. Now, for when it comes down to how Deku, the whole introductions, he meets everybody. And everybody is like, they're so amazed that he's, quirkless because they believe him and they can see that his muscles, they see his stretch marks, they see all kinds of like scars and all that. And I would say a lot of people are like really impressed by this. And that's when I would say Migneta's like, he knows about wrestling, and wrestling and fighting styles and all that, and he's kind of like recognized Deku's fighting style a little bit. Now I think it's obvious who I gave One for All to, and that's Migneta. Now, here's the thing, Migneta is overpowered. Okay, his ability, if you give him One for All, it's like a time bomb. Like, if anything, those things could be time bombs. Or basically multiply, I don't know. But yeah, it's cool. Or like a homing seeker kind of one, I don't know. But yeah, I'm giving it to Migneta. Because we gotta beat that perv out of him. Alright? So I would say that Migneta like knows a lot about boxing and fighting, and he really is like interested in Deku because Deku's like proving to be, he's like obviously a professional. He's done some championships, and yes, Deku has won a bunch. He's gotten a lot of championships done. And what happens? Oh, that is so simple. When it's the quirk assessment thing, Aizawa leaves out Deku because Deku has shown that he's got what it takes and that he's just used brute strength alone and his own strength and like his inner strength to prove that he is a hero. So, yeah, Deku is excluded from this because he's already proven to be a hero and he's, perfect for this. Now, I'm going to say that no one gets expelled at all like before because Migneta is there, and when people are like, oh, this is bullcrap, let's see Deku do it, they kind of get outdone. So, yeah, people really don't like Deku when it comes down to like, physical stuff like that. Now, I think a lot of girls would be interested in Deku because of how jacked he is. Because I think he would tear his shirt right around when he does some of the stuff. I would say it's like the long jump. He kind of just jumps and he nails a perfect solid professional record, like Olympics shit. And what happens with what happens with the next part? Well, this is the next part. I'm trying to go as fast as I can here because I want to do the heroes versus villains little test thing. So for that exam, it is gonna be the same teams, and Rocket did it, say thank you and all that, and it's gonna be the same teams. But here's the thing: Deku's suit is like this. I'm actually gonna say no, it is exactly like this, because the claws screw them. They're just gonna slow him down. He doesn't want to be reliant on gear. So what he has instead is, he has a knife. I'm joking. No, he, I'd say he has like fingerless gloves. They're like Kevlar really, so they kind of like provides a sturdier type of fighting. And if he's fighting someone with blades, it works. His suit's been upgraded to Kevlar, so there's that. It's no longer leather, it's Kevlar. And it weighs him down a bit, but it's also very light and it works against blades. So that's a plus. Now, for when Deku is going into the whole fight, I'd say that people recognize his suit. They recognize that he's Wildcat, and I would say a lot of girls like, oh my god, he's Wildcat. And I think people like, they knew about the identity, but they just don't remember him because they're so focused on how the suit looks. They don't really care about who's behind it. And what he's doing is like insane fighting styles. I just gotta turn on the light because I can't see in my room. It's dark and it's late. You can tell by the time. Anywho, um, yeah, you can say it 4. Anywho, Deku, he is jacked for this. People can even see it through the Kevlar a little bit, how big his muscles are. And when Bakugo comes over to Deku, he quickly gets taken out. Deku pretty much nails Bakugo down. He pretty much powers through the explosion. It does take a bit of damage and hell of a lot of pain, but what he does is simple. He punches Bakugo, knockout. And how did he punch him? Literally just did like pretty much a discombobulate. He basically, both hands, palms, like the just flat hands, smacks both ears with his hands, basically stunning him and also maybe blowing out an eardrum. But what he does next is he kicks him into a wall, knocking him out. And that's where Recovery Girl had to get in there because like how bad that move was. And you see, Deku knows how to fight, so I don't need to hold back on fighting styles here. I love boxing and wrestling. All right, fighting styles are my thing. All right, unarmed combat is my thing. Now, what happens with with Ida? Oh, it's simple. When Araka does have trouble again, but I would say that Deku, he destroys Ida. When Ida comes in, he's already fought like every type of fighter, people that use their legs. He's done MMA, he's done all kinds of stuff. The name Wildcat in this world is literally the most well-known name in fighting because he's like the top fighter in the world. He is known to be the best of the best. And what ends up happening next is simple. Deku, what he does is simple. Oh, actually, better yet, I'm going to do this. No, I'm going to retcon a little bit. I'm sorry, guys. Minya doesn't get one for all. No one gets one for all yet because I want to have some fun here. We could give Kendo one for all if you guys want, but I'm going to have Minya just get kicked out because screw him. Kendo's coming in. So, yeah. Mineta's booted, so we got that. Now, as for what's going to go on here is Deku, he grabs Ida's leg and literally just grabs him and throws him using the force that he was coming at him with, like what he was going to use against Deku, and throws him into a wall, hitting him hard, breaking through the armor and knocking Ida out. And Deku, well, actually, I wouldn't say knocks him out, just kind of like stuns him there. Keeps him there for a bit, and Deku, he just grabs him and throws him out the door. And while Deku's holding down a defense, Araka goes in and touches the bomb, and they win. Now, this is where everybody is like, holy crap, Deku is a badass. How much damage he take? Oh my god, he pretty much was, he's got some bloody hands, but he's also got pretty bit of blood coming out from his mouth a little bit. Because there is shockwave to every attack that he's taken. And I'm going to say that Deku, he's done something awesome. He's done a lot of things that are really awesome here. He's beaten Bakugo and Ida with just martial arts alone. So that's the thing I want you all to know. Martial arts, as long as you know how to use them, like if you can be a martial artist, you can be more powerful than a person with powers. Look at Superman. He never had a fighting session in his life. And is he good? No. He just throws regular punches. And when things get tough, he makes it like he clumps both his hands together and hits downwards. And that's it, like literally hitting a volleyball down. That's literally all he does. Now, if you ask me, Superboy has more skill than anything. But yeah. So that's the bit. That's What If Deku was Wildcat from DC Comics. Hope you, part 1. Hope you all have a good day and a good night. Peace out. I know I will have a lovely sleep. Peace.